As parents, we all know that moment. Your child suddenly covers their ears in a noisy restaurant, meltdowns in the grocery store, refuses certain clothes because the tag feels wrong, or completely shuts down in environments other kids seem to handle just fine. And someone says they'll grow out of it, it's just behavior, they need firmer boundaries, things like that. But what if that's not true? What if those reactions aren't behavior problems at all? What if they are signs of something deeper happening inside your child's nervous system? And what if understanding the neurological basis of overstimulation could finally unlock the answers you've been searching for? That's what we're diving into today. This video is for parents whose children struggle with things like sensory overload and overstimulation. Maybe they have a diagnosis like autism, ADHD, anxiety, or sensory processing disorder. Or maybe they don't have a diagnosis, they just get overwhelmed easily. Either way, you know something deeper is going on and you're ready for real answers. Here's what we know. The CDC reports that up to 40% of school-age children today have at least one chronic health condition. Sensory challenges are increasing dramatically, and yet most traditional approaches focus on just avoiding triggers, managing symptoms, modifying behavior. But what if those strategies are only addressing the surface? What if autism and ADHD and anxiety and sensory processing challenges are not isolated labels, but instead different expressions of one common root issue: nervous system dysregulation? So let's really break this down today neurologically. Overstimulation happens when the brain receives more sensory input than it can process effectively. Think of like a traffic jam. Lights, sounds, textures, smells, movement. Too many signals are trying to come through your kiddo's nervous system at once. And when traffic backs up, that system crashes. This is not a willpower issue. It's not defiance. It's not bad parenting. It's neurology. Now let's go even deeper than that surface level, okay? Let's say your child's autonomic nervous system has two main branches, which it does. It has the sympathetic system, which is our gas pedal. It's fight or flight, alert, defensive mechanisms. And then the opposite of that gas pedal is our brake pedal, which is our parasympathetic system. This is our calm, our digest, our regulation, our connection. A healthy nervous system flows between these two states. But when subluxation and stress disrupts the system, kids get stuck in sympathetic dominance. Gas pedal gets pressed and stuck down, brake pedal goes completely offline, and when you're stuck in fight or flight, everything else feels threatening. Noise feels dangerous, touch is irritating, transitions are overwhelming, and that is overstimulation. Now here's the part most providers do not connect, is that overstimulation rarely starts at age 5. It starts much earlier with something that we call the perfect storm, which is prenatal stress, can also lead to things like elevated cortisol levels during pregnancy, can lead to maternal anxiety, birth interventions like C-section, forceps, vacuum extraction, induction. These all create physical stressors at the upper cervical spine and brainstem, and that's where the vagus nerve lives. The nerve responsible for regulation is that vagus nerve. And then early childhood stressors layer on top of everything else. So that's where you get colic and reflux and ear infections, antibiotics, environmental toxins, screen overloads. Each layer adds more and more and more tension, and each layer wires the nervous system for protection instead of connection. By the time that your kiddo is 2, 3, 4 years old, their nervous system may already be running on empty, and overstimulation is simply the symptom. Let's also talk about what this looks like. So physical symptoms can be things like headaches, stomach issues, fatigue. Emotional signs are things like irritability and anxiety, emotional outbursts, behavioral indicators, which would be more of things like difficulty focusing, meltdowns, seeking dark or quiet spaces, clinging or shutting down. These are not random, they're patterns. And patterns point to regulation problems. Most families are told to use headphones and avoid busy places, control environments, and those tools can help short term, but they don't strengthen the nervous system, they don't build resilience, and they do not fix traffic jams. If we never address the underlying dysregulation, the world continues to feel overwhelming. This is where we approach things differently. We don't guess, we measure. Insight scans allow us to see exactly how your kiddo's nervous system is functioning. We measure thermal patterns and surface EMG muscle tension. We also measure heart rate variability. We can objectively see with these 3 scans if your kiddo's nervous system is stuck in sympathetic dominance or if it's completely exhausted. And then through gentle, precise chiropractic adjustments, we release that stuck stress. We activate the parasympathetic nervous system. We restore flow between gas pedal and brake pedal. And here's what parents report. This is what we hear every single week, every single day in our practice. Fewer meltdowns, better sleep, improved digestion, better focus, calmer transitions, more eye contact. It's not magic, it's purely regulation. Your child is not too sensitive. They are not broken. Their nervous system is just overwhelmed. And overwhelmed systems can be regulated, they can be supported, and they can adapt. And when they do, your kiddo can finally experience the world without constantly defending against it. If you're tired of watching your child struggle with things like sensory overload and sympathetic dominance, if you're ready to stop chasing symptoms and start addressing the root cause, it's time to measure the nervous system. At True North Chiropractic, we use that state-of-the-art technology, that insight scanning technology, to identify exactly where your kiddo's nervous system needs support. The scan is gentle, it's non-invasive, and it can be done with your child sitting right next to you. From there, we create a customized care plan to calm, regulate, and strengthen their nervous system so that they can get back to living the life that they want to live. So visit the link in our bio or comment below to learn more. We want to help your child experience the world with confidence, not overwhelm. Because the goal isn't to shrink their world, it's to strengthen their nervous system so they can thrive in it.